Yeah, that bench trial, you're getting sued for having that because I didn't get any notice or opportunity to be heard. Yes. You didn't enforce the stipulation and order from Guam. Yes. The Washington state courts did not regulate the dissolution of marriage. Yes. And my wife didn't give me any notice of it happening. Yes. So you're getting sued for having a non-jury trial where I would have probably wanted a jury trial. Yes. I would have wanted counsel appointed to me considering I was homeless. Yes, he was. And I'm going to want those sons today. See, I probably would have done it different than the way she did it. Now, beyond a reasonable doubt seems to be a problem in the eyes of those that are law enforcement. Yes. See, it's a standard required to convict a criminal defendant of a crime. Yeah. The prosecution must prove the guilt so that there's no reasonable doubt to the jury that the defendant is guilty. Now, since you wouldn't admit the evidence that I was on the bus, yes, on December 31st of 2015, and you wouldn't admit the evidence that I was I was in the library at 4:48 p.m. on December 31st of 2015. Yeah. You wouldn't admit the evidence that I was making videos on June 16th of 2016. Yeah. And that I was emailing, but I wasn't emailing any of the co-workers in the Brennan School District. I think that beyond a reasonable doubt, the jury would have found me innocent of any wrongdoing. Pow! But it looks like you had conspired against me for some reason. Yes, that you didn't want to exonerate me of any wrongdoing. And instead you issued a decision of incompetence. Now, the fraudulent use of mental health evaluation so as to have me involuntarily admitted to Western State Hospital when you did know I wasn't there. See, we have what's known as the binding precedents. And I think that this is very important because I'm actually going to sue you for this. A prior decision by a court that must be followed without a compelling reason or significantly different facts or issues. Yeah. So courts are often bound by the decisions of the appellate courts with authority to review the decisions. Yeah. For example, districts courts are bound by the decisions of the Court of Appeals that can review these cases. And all courts, both state and federal, are bound by the decisions of the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, I gave this example of precedence where I can say to any appellate court judge anywhere in the nation, why don't you have a look at it right now? Because it looks like the state of Washington decided that you don't have to have any due process. Yes, the petitioner doesn't have to appear in court. Yeah, and you can use forgery and fraud to issue court orders. Go ahead. Now, I'm going to need the precedent setting decisions of every court of the United States for the last 150 years.